Well, howdy. Welcome back to Hammer and Saw Customs. I'm old brother Bill, jack of all trades, master of none. Today we're going to start right out of the gate on our prepping area up here at the homestead. And you're probably going, well, yeah, Bill, that's not the pallet shed. You're exactly right. Sun was out, it was nice and shiny. Got the tools up here from the work shed, the pallet wood workshop. And now it's got misty rain, and well, Brother Bill's just too lazy to hike back and forth in the rain, so we'll just start from right here. If you've been hanging around, I appreciate to have you back. If you're new to this channel, you were bored and happened to fall into this black hole or the twilight zone here, glad to have you along. So, like I said, what we're going to get started on is the basic base of our workbench that's going to go all the way across here. So let me get a few things set up and we'll get started right after the intro. Alright neighbor, we're back. So before we get into the thick of everything, let's have a quick safety meeting with Safety Steve. What we're going to want when we're doing these projects and that, we're going to want some good work clothes. Make sure that we're going to protect ourselves as much as possible. Some boots, keep those little toesies and feet protected. Wouldn't hurt to have a cap if you got long hair to keep your hair out of the project or to keep the sawdust out of your hair. When handling pallet wood, gets a little rough and tough. No, it's just as smooth as a baby's behind. No, might want to wear some glove laders, keep those old phalanges protected. Last but not least, don't have the shades on today because hey, we got a little rain, but plants can use that. So we're going to want to have some clear safety glasses. Even if you're not cutting wood and you're nailing or running screws in, it's just good practice. So we're gonna get these old girls on. Holy moly, wow, man, those things got more scratches on them than a full season of Desperate Housewives. Let's trade those out. Much better, much better, much better. So with that, I've got all the wood pre-cut what we're doing today, but you might want to have you a nice little sawdust making happener. These are used and abused and the neglected tools that I got passed down, so they're new to me, used to you, and basically trash to the guy that got rid of them. So we're gonna need a drill making happener, or not, a drill. So what I did is I pre-drilled the holes. I always talk about pallet holes, pallet holes, pallet holes, pallet holes. You want to pre-drill the pallet holes in your wood, especially with this pallet wood pine. It'll split on you in a heartbeat. So you want one of those. And then we got our our driver, nice little driver. Man, these are handier than a pocket on a shirt. Don't have a pocket on my shirt, but do have a pocket in my pants to keep those tools and parts and pieces in there. A couple batteries. Screws we're going to be using is some 3-inch deck screws to screw the framing together. This is going to be our base frame. The reason that I know they're 3-inch screws because it says so right there. And then we're probably going to use some 2-inch screws on some miscellaneous, well, that's a long word, big word for Brother Bill, miscellaneous items that we're going to be putting together. Last but not least, we're putting some 1x4 pallet wood boards for the base of our shelving unit. So that is going to go in. We're going to use a 2-inch 18 gauge brad nail. And to come up with that, a neighbor or a subscriber sent me this little handy dandy 18-volt battery operated air compressor, I guess about a year ago. And I'm not into tool reviews. I don't even have the name of the company because they don't know I've got it, nor care I got it, and I'm not doing any kind of product, you know, dealio here. But so far, knock on wood, so far so good. So thanks, subscriber. They didn't want their name, so I know some people like to keep private. That's fine and dandy, but I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we're still using it on the show. You might gonna need this old leveler. You know, with pallet wood, I hate to use a leveler, but you know, I used to like just, you know, eyeball the project, but we're gonna use that. And you might want you a good old framing hammer. Today I don't think we're gonna use it for framing, but I think it's gonna be a really good digging tool. So when we start to put our supports in to level out the gravel that I've already compacted under there. So with that, let's hop into the project. Stop the blah blah blah. So I'll meet you right over there. Alright, neighbor. Can you see me? To get started here, what we got is we've got our pallet wood runners, 76 inches long. And then we've got our cross support braces, which are 22 3/8 inches long. These are all like a 2x4 style, so if you're going to ask me about that, there you go. And we're going to run in our 3-inch screws with our driver. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Oh, and of course it's 76 and 22 3/8 because it says so. You know, right there. You know, right there. Yeah. So I'm going to back you up. So we're just going to start running those in, and it's after we do the first one, it's going to be rinse and repeat. We're going to go to the next, the next, the next. So not to bore you with that, here's the first one, and we'll go from there. There you have it, neighbor. There's the first one. So it's just going to be rinse and repeat. I'm going to do that probably, say 1, 2, 3 more times. I won't bore you with that. And then we'll start setting them in place and leveling them up. So stand by while I get those in, and we'll go from there. All right, neighbor. There's number 2. So we're just going to keep on hammering on. Get the other 2 put together. Well, neighbor, that's number 3. We're, you know, cooking with gas. So let's get number 4 done. All right, neighbor. We got all 4 straight as possible, screwed together, all ready to be assembled. There is one thing. Oh, Brother Bill, I was just eyeballing it. But if you're new, haven't used wood working tools or items, you can use your, you know, get out your old square, but it, you know, it looks like a triangle, but it's a square, right? How come only I'm the only one who finds that funny? Oh well, anyway. So, you know, when you put your board together, you want to use that this way or that way to make sure that you're, you know, assembling your products. Everything's about as square as it can be, but you know, it's pallet wood. It's a little twisted, like Brother Bill. So, you know, it's like government work, good enough, and charge you 5 times as much as the rate. Oh, and then you might even say, Brother Bill, why do you use screws? Because, you know, you're about as screwy as a hardware store during an earthquake, or loose screws. Maybe I cut that up. So, Brother Bill, why are you using screws? Because, you know, you seem like you got enough screws loose. You know, screws loose like a hardware store during an earthquake. Well, that's the reason why I'm using screws. We get a lot of earthquakes here on the island. I don't know if you happen to notice, we got a couple active volcanoes, you know, playing up not too long ago. Got some shorts down there if you guys want to see a couple of those flyover videos. So, and as you can see, beautiful, sunny a couple days ago. Now it's just, you know, humid and raining, so you get all that. And nails just seem to, you know, walk right on out of the picture. Not to say that you can't use nails, but something like this got a lot of weight in an open moist area like here. I just want it to hold together as long as possible. So there's our unit screwed together. Now we're gonna stick them up on the wall here. Going to use that base plate there as the back hinge. Screw to our structure that's on the old homestead garage. And then we're going to level that out with the blocks. And you might say, well, those blocks are kind of high. Well, once again, breathability. I don't want anything to mold. I want everything to have as much air circulation. Kind of like the pallet wood shop. You know, it's nice and dry even after all this time. And I might use that area under there to throw a couple of pieces of wood here and there that are just cut-offs that, you know, don't really go on the, you know, stock area. That, you know, one-offs that you might need for this and that and the other, you know, because, you know, hi, I'm Bill, I'm Hoarder. So, let's get back to the Hoarder preparation workstation. And I'll also show you these little blocks that I'm using. They're just the blocks that come on most of the pallet woods, pallets that don't have full runners, that just have blocks. So I'm going to show you how I'm just going to tack nail those together and use those as my base. So let me get set up and we'll start in on that. So I just wanted to cover our support blocks that I'm using. So I told you about those. So what we're going to do, we're just kind of using them in a T section. I've got those brad nails I told you about, 18 gauge, 2 inch. I'm just going to eyeball the center and just put a couple tacks in, so just kind of hold them together in case we happen to kick them after we install them. We don't want to listen to that right now. So that's what's going to go under our supports. So let's move over, set our base in place, level that, and screw it to the infrastructure of the homestead garage. So let's look yonder, over yonder. All right, neighbor, we're ready to get this bad boy put in place. So we've already got our pilot holes drilled. We already know where our infrastructure is behind our wall here that we're going to tie into. So that's just, we've already taken our blocks and tacked those together with the brad nails. We've set them up at the ends in the middle for our support, and we've leveled them. So if we've done our prep and our math, when we set this in place, we should be really close to, you know, good enough for government work. So let's get this set in place. Now this is the one you want to spend a little extra time on. Get this first one level, straight, and then you can, you know, build off it as you head on down. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. So here we go. Let's enough talking. Let's get to work. Alright, before we screw it on there, let's just see if we're anywhere close. Well, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but, you know, let me pull you in here real close. Alright, well, like I said, it looks pretty good for government work. Pallet wood and the like. Let's see where we're at. We could tap that down a little higher, but I think we're in the ballpark. Let's get it screwed in. And if there's any places we need to adjustment, well, you know, you get out the old knee knocker 100. And actually, after we screw that in, we are good to go. Now, probably what I'll do is I'll put a couple of brads in there, or maybe a screw, because you know, while we're working, you know, we've got the big old clod hoppers we end up kicking in, so we don't want any of this stuff to move. So I'll probably pre-drill for some screws and set those in. So let me do that. I'll be right back. Alright, got our right tools and the right screws. We're going to go with maybe some 2.5, so this is not very far. So we're just going to start the bit. Once we start a good bite into the wood, we're going to start angling it at a 45. And if to get that good 45, and you're like, well, how do you know it's a 45? If you look at your drill, you notice how it's got that nice little cone angle there? If you throw your square or something up against that, that's really close to a 45. So when you come up and you almost kiss the wood, you're going to be real close to that 45. So that is a couple screws. And good enough. So when we kick that, maybe bonk that with a foot, it ain't going anywhere. So Brother Bill's just gonna rinse and repeat. Pretty simple. Next, or what's that? Wash, rinse, repeat. Gotta do this 3 more times. All right, neighbor, here we go. We're on that rinse, repeat train. That's number 2, down and about. Let's keep it on trucking on. Neighbor, we're just moving right along. We've got number 3 in. Last but not least, number 4. So let's get that in so we can get on to the next step on this wash, rinse, repeat Hoarder's prep station. Hang in there. Well, neighbor, I think that's going to do it for the base of our Hoarder prep recycle, get it out of here, stack it in for later cabinets that we've started. Just want to let you know, on that first little part where the trim is, I offset that for the skin that's going to go on the cabinet in that end, so we didn't forget about that. And then when we got to the sections where we have the 2 pieces of the bases coming together, well, we just put a couple screws in there to tighten those up. Didn't miss anything there. Pretty pilot hole and screw, pilot hole and screw. And then you just keep rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. I've got a little more space down at the end. I'm gonna have to mull that over in my head to see what I might want to do down there. So I did set the block, the next block, for another base to go on it. Probably won't be more than, say, 2 feet. But hey, 2 feet, when it comes to storage, you know, it matters. It matters. So we're going to continue on our little rustic backwoods project here. So next I'm going to put the boards down for the base of the cabinets, and then we'll be building on to that. I know some people just like build cabinets and stick them up there. Well, you know, with pallet wood, you know, everything's not square, so you're gonna have to. This is how Brother Bill finagles the numbers. He finagles the raw materials that we have. So let me get that set up, and I'll show you how I'm installing that, and I'll give you some other measurements as well. So stick with me. Okay, neighbor. So you're gonna ask me about this, but our base is 25 1/4 inch on the outside, and you want to know why I know that? Because it says 25 inches and 1/4. You know, right there. You see that right there? Okay. So that lines up the mathematicals that I was doing in my head with our pallet wood boards, without having to trim any down. So that's 7 pallet wood boards gets us at 25 1/4. Amazing. Now our pallet wood boards are 38 inches long because our main structure is 76 inches. Don't have pallet boards that's going to go all that whole way, so we trim them down to 38, and we've got infrastructure under all our boards. And the reason I know these are 38 also, says it right there, 38 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the old stapler, nailer, finger, you know, stapler to the wood. We're going to pop those down with those 18 gauge 2-inch brad nails, because we just need to hold them in place. They don't need to be on here with, you know, screws and super glue. So it's going to be rinse and repeat. Hit this one, and just keep on going. Any questions? You know, I can't hear you. So get those old flanges out, click clack down there on the old computer. Let me know what you've liked so far on the show. Give me some thumbs up. You know, there's that little subscribe button down there. Yep, in the bottom, hammer and saw. It's disguised as a hammer and saw emblem. It's kind of small, blends in. Click that. That'll let you know that there's a new show out, and that'll let me know to let you know to ring that bell, right? So let's follow along. Let's get these nailed down and keep on going. I'm just going to take off from here, get the old Safety Steve glasses back on, and get her done. Alright, neighbor, it don't get any easier than that, so I don't bore you to death. I'm just gonna keep on nailing this row down. So stick with me, or maybe I'll set you up down there and you guys can watch the whole thing. Here we go. Alright, neighbor, there you have it. That is just about it. One reason it might be just about it is that Brother Bill's got other things to do. He's got to get done today, and well, I'm out of pallet wood for right now. I mean, I've got more pallets. I just haven't broken them down to keep pulling from. I need some more of these and some more of those and some more of this, and you know, still got that honey to-do list, repair list, service list. You know, I'm gonna take a break and hang out right here, and you know, I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Yeah, let's just enjoy what we've got here. Nope, a fella's got to get stuff done, so ain't got time for snoozing or napping. So let me get you repositioned and we'll do a closeout right from here just to save some time. Well, neighbor, I'm gonna have to cut her off there. Video is probably getting a little long. Plus, you know, I already said I got to get some more wood. So we'll stop the video there on our hoarding, sorting, rustic workstation. I sure do appreciate you folks stopping by. I think our subscribers, or my subscribers, are getting up there. Close to 300, maybe over that by now by the time you watch that. Greatly appreciate you folks out there. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Appreciate you guys for watching, as always. Just a little something fun you can enjoy with just some scrap wood and a couple nails and screws and a couple old beat up used tools. Don't need a whole lot, especially if you're out there working on a homestead. Money's tight. Well, money's tight anyway, right? So, as always, Brother Bill wants you to remember, if your neighbor can do it, a neighbor like you can learn to do it too. And let's remember our veterans, past and present. Let's also remember our first responders out there. They got a tough job to do. Rain, sleet, snow, wind, whatever. When you hear those sirens, you know, get out of their way. And when a feller or fellette is out there working on a project with someone or the other someone's, always to remember to hammer on safely. That's the biggest point. Enjoy yourself, be safe. Old Safety Steve, you know, is out there for a reason. If you got any comments, questions, as I've asked before, let me know. I'll try to get back to you. Some of you guys have sent in some comments. I'll try to get to you as soon as I can, but you know, there's just lots going on for a one-man band. Boom, boom, psh. I will get back to you, I promise. So, until next time, Brother Bill's going to miss you, and I want you to keep her between the ditches, and I will see you soon, and Happy New Year. Aloha. Oh, gotta get to that list. Oh.